I'm Ben.
I'm Ron.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jason. And this is Hometown Has-Beens. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hometown Has-Beens, episode 14. It's going to be an interesting pod today because we're missing another has-been. Ryan had a baby. Well, he didn't. It wasn't like that movie.
He would probably tell you he had it and tell you about how easy it was. Cause
He did say that after his third, he is now more assured that he could do it. Have a baby, that is.
I'm not surprised. So congratulations to the three-time father, Ryan Griffin.
And mother, Allison Griffin.
Yep. Real quick, I got some results from the poll that we asked on Spotify a couple episodes back. From episode 11, Ben versus a black bear. We asked if you thought Ben could beat an average size female black bear. I think I said something like that. We got 5 votes. 3 said no, 2 said yes. So only like 40% said yes.
But I will add to that, our friend Seth McIntyre also said on social media that he could take a black bear too. So I'm saying that it's a tie. I'm taking.
Oh yeah. If he would have done that, he probably listened to on Apple. So yeah, Ben might could take a black bear.
I still think I could. If your life depended on it.
If your life depended on it.
You've referenced like people moms flipping vans. You don't think I could?
I don't know that they flip them.
Like to save their baby?
I don't think you need to. It's not like someone's holding a gun to your head and you flip this van or your baby's dead.
Those stories are like they flipped a smart car.
No, they just lifted it.
I think smart cars weigh more than regular cars because the batteries.
The batteries are so.
Really?
The batteries are super expensive too.
That's
so
interesting.
how smart is that? That was good, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll run through this real quick. Hey, remember we got a 5-star rating and review contest. So all through the month of August, if you leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, you will be entered to win a chance to be a guest on the podcast. And again, we do have guests in the future. We got them lined up. Got a couple at least. Last little housekeeping thing. We just hit 10,000 listens. By the time you hear this, it'll be more than that.
Let's go.
But that is a big deal. And Ryan's not here. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just insert like him laughing or something right here in the pod. So yeah.
Okay,
there we go. He laughed. Hey, good job. Hey, Brian, your laugh is very recognizable. Okay. All right. Today, Chris mentioned a topic about the show.
Yeah, we are.
You said a user.
Yeah, go for it.
You said a user wanted us to.
A user?
If Hometown Has-Been is your drug, we're here for you.
Okay, so I want to make it clear that today was the first day that kids came back to school. So my brain's.
Yeah, who knows what this pod's going to be like without Ryan's high-pitched laughter to energize us, pair it with the fact that we've just been teaching all day.
So anyways, we had a listener.
That's what Chris said. I don't know.
Who is the, can you say who the, is it your wife? Is it your wife?
No.
Are you the listener?
Yeah.
It's you.
I thought it would be a good
all
topic.
right, so that's
So
that's
it actually
perfect. Go
was
ahead.
you.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
I listened to it too. I listened to the pod.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead,
I want to
Chris.
hold on before he goes. I want to say he texted us and said, "Hey, I have a listener that requested that we talk about this."
Yeah.
Yes.
And now we're finding out he's the listener.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right, let's do this. All right, so Chris has a topic for us that he kind of.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Well, so shout out to all the human beings under 10 years old that listen to this pod, because there are a bunch. I've come to find out. So thank you. If you're under 10 years old and you listen to the pod, I hope you're enjoying this. But what show do you watch with your children?
Are you talking to the 10-year-olds or everyone else now?
Everybody. No, to the adults.
Well, you said shout out to the 10-year-olds.
and then
He's
you
like,
said-
what do you watch with your children? Like they
yeah.
have
Okay,
children.
yeah,
Like
okay.
their little baby
So
dolls?
let me talk to us. The question is to us. What
Just-
shows?
okay,
Just us. What shows do you watch with your children? We all have children. That one you enjoy, like, oh yeah, let's watch this show, and then another show that you're like, oh, I don't want to watch that show. It's just not fun to watch.
So let's answer the first question first. Ben, I think
First
you can speak for
question,
both of us.
short list, nothing.
You don't like watching anything.
My kids
No, we don't.
watch stupid crap.
Such as?
But there's, I don't know. Like, my son watches mostly YouTube bullcrap. Like, people.
Dude, that's the
people
thing.
playing video games.
They don't do shows as much, I feel. I mean, my daughter, hold on. I will say this. That show, Bluey, if I have to watch a kid's show, Bluey cracks me up.
I can't get into it.
They're Australian. It's funny.
Yeah.
Here's my problem.
Dingo ate my baby. You know?
I don't know.
One, I thought Bluey was a boy.
No, that's a girl.
Oh, that's confusing to me. Bluey's
But that's
a girl.
not a big thing.
Yeah, and then Bilbo. What's the other one?
That's Lord of the
Is it
Rings.
Bingo.
Is it? I don't know.
Bilbo Baggins.
Do you remember Blue's Clues?
Yes.
Blue's a girl too.
Really?
In Blue's Clues?
But, yeah.
I hated that.
I didn't
But
know that.
Magenta, Blue's cousin, was a boy.
I never
She was
knew Blue
pink.
had a
Or
cousin.
Magenta, I guess.
I
But
didn't watch that much of it.
I watched it when I was like a little bitty. But
The Notebook and the couch.
yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
was his name? Steve or
Oh,
something?
remember
Throwback.
Big Comfy Couch?
Yeah.
That was a
Dude,
good one.
That's a blast from the
I think
That
I
is
actually got for
Raggedy Ann.
Christmas one year
Yeah.
the Notebook.
Oh,
And
yeah,
the
yeah. They had
pencil.
the pen. And
Yeah.
all it is like, it's like dry erase for crayons.
It
Like,
probably cost $30 back then.
So, but no,
I
I
doubt
can't
it.
get into anything my kids like now. So Hudson, he watches mostly stuff on YouTube. He watches these weirdos playing video games. He watches some kids that play travel baseball, like, but they're like bigger than him. He watches them on YouTube. Which if I had to watch something, I guess I could watch that. He does like I would say I don't like anything that he has found and like I love this, but he is he's just like me. So he watches a lot of stuff that I like. Like I don't know if this is something I should be proud of, but my 9-year-old loves King of the Hill. Like he's an avid King of the Hill watcher.
yeah. I was watching it at that age.
Yeah, and he loves Field of Dreams. He loves all the baseball movies I liked when I was a kid. He loves Little Giants.
Yeah.
So
See, that's a good way to do it too. Is well, because number one, it's like it's a little bit. You can be a little sentimental, and you can like have an experience with your kid. Like, hey, I loved this movie when I was your age.
Yeah.
I feel like Graceland's doing that now. She's watching shows, like because Disney Plus, like they got all the old Disney shows. She's
Boy Meets
really
World.
into Sandlot right now.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
of course I
wow.
love that. And she watched like all of them because they made multiples that were not even good. And she was like, none of them are good except the first one. And I was like,
I could have
absolutely.
just saved you the pain and not watched it. I could have told you that. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
well, I did tell her, but she wanted to, you know,
do you remember the Disney original movies? Like they would come up.
Brink. That's the
so-
first one that comes to mind.
My favorite, and Hudson loves it too, because Hudson has a dirt bike.
Yeah.
And, he
yes.
loves
Motocross.
Dude,
That's
he
a good
watches
one.
it. He'll watch it back to back. Like he'll
That's
watch
pretty
it
good.
and then watch it again.
Yeah, that was a good
immediately.
movie.
It is.
Hocus Pocus.
I know.
Hocus
I mean, I
Pocus.
know it.
Yeah, I
just-
watched that one. That was a good one.
But
My daughter
Oh,
loves
I
that
was
one.
so scared of the one with the monster under,
Under the bed.
Under-
Dude,
oh
I
my
just
gosh.
introduced that to my daughter because I was like,
That's so scary.
she was
I will
like begging
not.
to watch it. I was like, it's
I won't
kinda
watch
scary.
it right now.
I
will
introduced
not watch
Hudson
it.
the other day to Hey Arnold.
Hey, Arnold was the best
And
football head.
well, and he, he's such a big baseball kid. I specifically like went through the episodes and would find them when they were like at the lot and playing baseball.
That's such a cool lot
Yeah.
too, man.
or like the one. What was they combined two major. Because Al Kaline.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Mickey
yeah.
Mantle, so his
They
idol
call
was
it
Mickey Kaline.
Mickey, yeah.
So I found the one where he goes and sees Mickey Kaline.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Well, Chris, what about you, man? You said there's got to be a show that you like that your kids watch, or did you just do that?
The Netflix Jurassic Park like cartoon.
What did you say?
The Netflix
That's not what you
Jurassic
said.
Park cartoon. That's what I said.
I would like to run it back, but I think you said the Netflix.
The
Like
Netflix.
Netflix?
I can rename it. Yeah.
No.
Netflix. Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, sorry.
Netflix.
Go ahead.
Okay. There's a Jurassic Park one.
is it
Cartoon.
animated?
Oh,
Yeah.
you like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Dude,
like it.
I hate that.
I thought it was a good storyline.
It's not.
Enjoy that.
It's not even good for a 10-year-old.
I like it. Also, we like watching.
He was just like,
It's good for me.
he's like, well, I like it. So you can just.
I like it. I also like on YouTube. There's like redneck Barbie car racing.
Oh, that's not a kid's show.
Yeah, but Watson likes to watch it. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that lasted.
Do
5
you have any?
minutes.
You agree with me though? There's nothing you really like.
No, I mean I said the one, didn't I?
I would agree. I would disagree with you, Jason. Like Bluey, I can't do Bluey. Like we watch it, but
It's funny to me.
I can't hear it.
Then turn it up.
I do, and I can't hear it, man. I can't hear it.
I don't think it's the. I don't think
They
it's the
talk.
volume. I think this like Chris is like, I don't like this. These people talk funny. These Australians.
Oh man,
I think the dad on there is such a good dad,
the dad's so funny,
and he's always playing. I'm like, I don't do
dude.
that stuff
There's
for my
like
kids.
one
I'm
where
not a
he's
good
like
dad.
playing dead, and they're like, "We're going to get ice cream," and he's like, "I'm dead," and they're like. He makes them like drag
Impersonation of
them,
this is so good.
drag them to the Jeep and like put them in the Jeep, and he's just laying there. It's
Sounds to
funny.
me like you're a pretty big fan.
I like Bluey. I guess.
I've only seen a couple episodes. My kids aren't really into it.
So your kids, if you're listening to this, your kids like Bluey because that dad's better dad than you, and they wish you were like that dad.
Are you saying that to me?
No, I'm just saying that to our audience.
I play with them.
saying it to our
Grayson's been working
audience.
on our wiffle ball for Chappelle.
That's coming up.
I know. I need to plan better.
Yeah.
Got busy.
Yeah. Well,
It's pretty easy to cut the field.
All right, so to the baseball thing.
What?
Quick
No,
debate.
What?
Quick
Where?
debate. Side
baseball
debate here.
movies?
Yeah, baseball movies.
Okay.
What's the best baseball movie?
Dude.
so
There's categories.
yeah. So
There's got to be categories.
Before you categorize it,
no,
well,
you
let me
can't.
explain. Let me explain. Like, there's movies like the best baseball content, like in the like the best has like the best shot baseball in it. You know, like as far as the scenes
Yeah.
or like the accuracy. Does it have big league players, which adds to that? But then you all like the best movie that has baseball in it isn't the same to me as the best baseball movie. Because
Right.
like Field of Dreams to me, like this is something I love Field of Dreams. This is top 3 movie for me. But it's not really a baseball
right.
movie.
Like
There's-
baseball's involved,
right.
and it's a core piece of it, but it's really about
But-
his relationship with his dad and all that stuff. You know?
I'll tell you the best movie, and I've seen, and this isn't like an original thought. Like I was watching a video on YouTube about it one time. But the best movie from like a just filming baseball like content ever is Little Big League. Because
That's
if
such a good
you
movie.
go back and watch that, there's so many shots that are unedited, like
Yeah.
timed perfectly. Like there's one shot that I remember they show, and the cameras would be kind of close, like it would be left of home plate, looking like down the line.
Mhm.
And there's a shot that there's no cuts where they hit a ball
down the
to
line.
like down the line. The guy fields it in right field and throws a guy out at home
it's at the end of
all
the
in
movie.
all in one shot.
like a continuous.
Yeah, and so they have to time that like
That's tough.
freaking perfect. And also, that movie had
Are you
Pud-
sure
Pud-
there's
had-
not any, it didn't like zoom in on the
No.
ball at any point? No invisible
no, they showed
cuts?
that. That's because that was one of the points they made. Is how
Oh,
many feet-
gotcha.
And like, but in that movie, you have Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
You have Lou Piniella as the manager of the Mariners.
Yeah.
You have Pudge Rodriguez in that movie. Rafael Palmeiro's in that movie. I mean, there's so many big leaguers in that movie. And that's just, I mean, so it has real big leaguers because that's something that I always hated. Is like
They do these
they
fake
make these
teams
fake
and
guys
fake,
like for the
yeah.
love of the game. I love For the Love of the Game.
It's one of the best.
But like they play the Yankees and like they have some just like fake
Oh,
guy that's like not a
yeah.
real guy, you know. But like that movie has
The
real
rookie-
big leaguers.
yeah.
And that movie was like the away games. There's more stadiums filmed in that movie than like any baseball movie. Like all the away games they actually filmed in the away stadiums.
Yeah.
And so like it's a great, but like it's a kids movie. So like the storyline, you know,
It's a pretty good storyline.
But For the Love of the Game's awesome. If you like a romantic movie, you know,
Kevin
like it's one
Costner.
that you
It's
can
a
watch with
pretty
your
big,
wife.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, oh man, it's tough. I do it kind of like stages. Like I categorize them myself. So like when I'm a kid, Sandlot's the best to me. As a
okay.
kid.
But as an adult, it holds up though.
It holds up. For the best baseball movie to me, like For Love of the Game's up there. It's one of my favorite. Bull Durham is probably my
See, I categorize
best
mine
one.
too, and so I have like comedies, and so
Yeah,
like,
it
I
is a
so like
yeah.
Major League, Bull Durham, you know that type of movie.
Now, do you like is Major League better than Bull Durham?
No.
I don't think so.
But Kevin Costner's like one of my favorite actors. Dude.
Dude,
I love
Kevin Costner is
He's amazing.
But
dude.
talking
And
about
in
Sandlot,
that movie, he threw all those pitches.
Really?
yeah, he's a good throw, but like. You could tell he played baseball at some
Yeah,
point.
I mean, he was
Because
throwing,
actually
like, low
throws up,
80s
like that's
in the
something I
movie.
hate too. Is like when the actors.
Oh,
I'll give you a perfect
man.
example, and I like this movie, but Summer Catch with
That's
Freddie
a
Prinze.
great
yes,
movie.
yes.
Freddie Prinze Jr. throws like a girl.
What's his name? Who's the guy that plays Matt Saracen in Friday Night Lights?
yeah, Zach Gilford.
Zach Gilford. He cannot throw, and he'll
No.
admittedly he'll be like, I can't throw a football, and his motion looks weird.
But talking about Sandlot, the thing I love about it, like the best parts in that movie are not the baseball either, though. Like,
True.
And this is about just be the history person in me, and I've talked about this, I think, on the pod before, but I'm so nostalgic that any movie, like the best part of that movie to me is you have them playing, the
Little
music
League?
and fireworks going off, and the only time we could play at night is on the 4th of July, and they go outside of the cul-de-sac. And this is the 1950s,
Right,
60s.
so there's that neighborhood.
And so there's the neighborhood bond where everybody's
yeah.
having a cookout for the 4th, and then grab a hot dog, go play with your buddies. Like, to me, it just like is this, kind of, stereotypical, fantasy life of like, I mean, there was tons of turmoil in the world at that time.
Yeah,
but
but
looking back on it with
then.
rose-colored glasses, like it was freaking awesome.
Right.
And because it was like what America used to be,
Yeah.
You
And-
can let your kids just go.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
and
it's
I
awesome.
and my childhood was kind of like that.
Well,
Because
and
I grew
it
up in a
was-
small town. We were home cut
Yeah.
has-beens. We kind of had that, even though we're not as old as that.
We just weren't proximity wise. It wasn't like we all lived in the same
I mean, I
neighborhood.
can remember being at your house, Ben, and we were very young, and we just like we walked to the
Yeah.
We were probably 12 or 13.
we just walked to the fair,
Yeah.
stole a road sign, and came back.
You remember, and I don't know if I can tell this on the podcast, but it's not bad, but I remember we were in 7th grade, is how old we were one time.
Mm-hmm.
And we did this several years in a row. But I remember, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't, but like I remember the group of friends we were with pulled their money to buy a cigarette from a guy. One cigarette. And it was like $30. And they bought one cigarette, and then like outside my dad's house smoke. And I didn't do it. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've smoked cigars. I'm not trying to act like I'm, but like I just never was interested in
Yeah.
cigarettes. And they smoked it outside my dad's house. One $30 cigarette.
I remember that. Must have been good. It'd be that expensive. All right.
But
You got a baseball movie, Chris? Because you asked.
Well, I'm curious what you guys think about this one. I think it's a sleeper movie, Mr. 3000.
Mr. 3000 to me was okay.
it's all right. It, again,
It's a
has fake
comedy.
players.
It's fake, yeah.
It's just too.
And also, like, I don't think it, like
All right, what about the rookie, the Cubs?
that one.
Rookie of the
wait,
Year.
Rookie
Is that
of the
Rookie
Year.
of the Year?
Rookie of the Year.
That's classic.
It's okay.
It's all right, but I like Little Big League better.
Little Big League, I do like it better too.
yeah.
I like The Rookie with Dennis Quaid.
I do like The Rookie, and that's one of those based on a
That's
true story.
emotional.
Eight
Golly.
Men Out is another good one that's based
Yeah.
on a true story.
By the way, Kevin Costner, like he is a great athlete. Just like
Yeah.
like playing
a lot
golf.
Of good
What golf
baseball
movie? Which one?
movies.
Tin Cup, man.
Tin Cup.
Cup,
I
yeah.
mean,
I
I could not think of the name. That's such a good
those are
movie.
right
and
around
you
the
can
same
tell
time, Bull
he can
Durham,
hit a
Tin
golf ball too.
Yeah,
He's
for sure.
amazing.
He's an athlete, man.
100%.
And he's a great cowboy.
And I was about to say, and he's a pretty good ranch owner and governor, apparently. of
Well,
Montana.
have you seen the movie that because he's not going back to Yellowstone?
Oh,
That
I
new
did,
movie,
I did see
that
it.
first one was not good.
You didn't see it?
I
it's
did
out.
see
You
it.
saw it?
It was not good.
Really?
I was so disappointed.
A lot of people said it wasn't good, but then some actor came out who was in it and was like, "You're not viewing it the way you're supposed to," or something.
We
like that.
literally got up and left.
Well, that was a
Really?
waste of money,
It's 3 hours long. Kevin Costner only kills one person. That's it.
dude. Sorry.
If
Okay,
Kevin Costner's in a Western, he's supposed to kill a lot of
dude.
people.
Whatever. All right. Are we calling around?
Kevin Costner's
What
in that
is-
movie for 30 minutes.
We're going to call Ryan, but I'm going to open up one more can of worms because we're talking about movies. And I think this is a pretty good conversation. Best Western.
Oh,
Not The Hotel.
me and you probably agree about this, Ben.
Yeah, we did. We've talked about this before.
Well, I don't know.
Are you a Western guy, Jason?
Not big. Tombstone.
Tombstone's
pretty good.
classic.
It's classic.
The
It's probably
Searchers,
Yeah.
Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is my favorite.
Shanghai Noon.
Okay, that's a Western.
No, that's
a
just
good
fun,
one.
That's a funny
The
movie.
Man
That's
Who
a
Shot
good one.
Liberty Valance is my favorite of all time. And
Yeah.
not just like it's one of my favorite movies of any.
I can't.
Like,
talk. I don't know. About
It's
this.
great.
Dude,
If you've not
it's-
seen The Man Who Shot
Sorry.
Liberty Valance, it's on Prime right now. It comes in and out of Prime. It's on Prime. If you got Prime now, you can watch it.
Yeah, I like the Cowboys too with John Wayne.
Cowboys is good.
Cowboys is very good.
All right.
I think The Searchers, if you get into the themes of The Searchers, is really good.
Yeah, I like.
It's a great.
I think we're going to lose a lot of listeners.
I like
if we
Sons
keep
of
talking
Katie
about
Elder too.
movies.
It's really good.
That's a good one.
All of our young listeners are about.
Yeah, I know, man.
But
They're-
our
they're
old
probably-
guys, the few old guys we have are like
Chisholm is a good one.
But
That's a one that I actually had not watched until recently. John Wayne.
so
I was
Well,
impressed.
Shout out to
Anyways,
John Wayne. All right,
yeah.
we're going to call around.
R.I.P. Yeah, we're gonna call Ryan real quick to make sure he's alive.
Hello?
Welcome to the pod.
Man, at least I didn't get the, hey, you're on the pod, and I didn't know it, and I was doing, fighting off a monster or something.
Yeah, well, yours was a little different because you had a child.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't even give me a
Yep.
warning you were going to call me while I was fighting a monster.
But see, that's what's funny about yours.
Yeah.
I was trying to flip a black bear and tickle his belly. And y'all are over here trying to call me.
I thought it was a brown bear.
Dude,
He'd been there a while.
but you had natural content. Now I'm put on the spot. They got like you can't get a phone call and be like, not have anything to offer.
I'll put you on the spot.
You're always one to offer. I mean, like your laugh. I think that's the thing we're gonna miss today. Is you're just laughing like a hyena.
Why not?
That's what Jason said. He said first podcast without the high pitched laugh. I'm glad I'm known for my laugh, my
100%.
girly high pitched laugh.
It's not,
Ask him
laugh.
our original thing that Chris thinks.
Okay, all right, Chris.
Ask Ryan if he thinks anything.
If he thinks
I'll ask him because Chris has amnesia. So
he just said,
I'm having a seizure.
Are there any kid shows, Ryan, that your children like that you also enjoy?
I mean, not enjoy, but I can watch Bluey.
hey,
Bluey's
me
not
and you
terrible.
both, man.
Yeah, Bluey's not because it has a little like
Parent humor.
Yeah, because sometimes the mom and dad will be like, "Oh, this is so fun," and they're being sarcastic,
Yeah.
and I get that.
You do understand sarcasm. I will give you that.
Do you feel like a good dad when you watch that show, or a bad dad when you watch that show? Comparing yourself to the dad in the show.
When I watch Bluey,
Yeah.
When I compare myself to the dad in the show,
Yeah.
I've never done that because he's a blue dog, and
Good point. But if you
but
were
not-
forced to,
all right, if I were okay, no, because I kind of do a lot of stupid stuff like that anyway.
here's what I think you should do: just play dead. And Rylan asks to go get some ice cream, and you play dead and see what he does to get you to the vehicle.
Oh, he'll hit me.
That's what I was about to say. Is he
Throw a
He'll
glass
jump-
bottle
he'll-
at his face.
He'll throw a glass bottle at my face or something.
Ryan can't push any mean buttons when he has a newborn baby in the house.
Yeah.
We got to keep Ryan calm before something bad happens.
Well,
Yeah, man, dude, I've dipped so much. It's
dude.
bad.
Well, congratulations on baby number
Thanks.
3. We don't want to keep it too
Thanks.
long.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, as we speak, there's 2 of them crying right now.
Well,
Which two? I know which one of them, but is it the big
It's
one or
not-
the middle one?
No, it's the small. It's the smallest 2. The little princess is aggravated
I
right
was
now
about to
too.
say, it's the big one. You just tell him to suck it up.
But yeah, no, I done jumped his tail today. So there's something going on all the time. So yeah,
well,
but we get through it, baby.
hey, get to it, man.
All right,
All
See
I'm
you,
gonna go. All right, see you, man.
So yeah. All right, that was
All
good.
right, there it is. There we were. with
That was
Ryan.
our. I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Guest?
Just cut that out. No, I was gonna say our proof of life. Ryan's proof of life. He is still alive. Just
There we go.
All
right,
he's out there.
topic change.
All right.
Okay, so there's a couple topics I have here. Let's do this. Y'all have any stories about first job, high school jobs, anything like that? Because I
Yeah.
have a couple.
Yeah,
So
I have some.
I'll start. My first job ever was Chick-fil-A. All right. Ben encouraged me to give that job up. It was not very difficult for me to do because I wasn't a huge fan. I thought the owner was a little bit too mean to me. Everybody else was cool. But while I was at that first job, before Ben convinced me to quit, on a whim. Wasn't it on a whim? You were just like, we're going to go do
This is
something.
what happened. So no, every friend I had, including not every friend, but most of my close friends, played football, and I didn't play football. And I loved going to football games, though. I mean, I went to my senior year. We were all right, in spite of Chris.
So that was my junior year.
just
Yeah,
kidding.
I didn't play.
Chris actually was a pretty.
I just handed the ball.
No,
off.
you actually were a pretty good quarterback. I will say that, and I'm not trying to just flatter you, but I actually used to encourage them to let you pass more because you were pretty good and you had some weapons on that side, But
I will say, my freshman year, JV, anytime I ran a slant across the middle, Chris did not do well with that.
you were too fast for him.
I got killed
Too
a lot.
fast.
Yeah. So,
And he always said, one day I'm going to get it.
but anyways, but Chris, other than the fact that he would just change plays on his own,
or throw it to
like he would change plays in the
ineligible
huddle
receivers
that
downfield.
coaches didn't call. So, anyways, but all of my friends played football. Most of my close friends played football, and I just wanted somebody to go to the games with me. And I remember like Jason was supposed to go to work, and I was like, dude, I gotta have somebody to go to the game with. Like, you gotta quit that job, and he did. He quit that job to go to football games with me, and we went to,
awesome. We went to every football game, and we had so much fun.
And we went, but they went to state that year,
and we went to Calhoun.
That was the first. Yeah, and we went to Calhoun and watched them get beat 63-0.
It was awesome.
I have a
I
funny
remember.
story about that game.
I remember at halftime of that game, and I'm not going to get into it, but like, it was like 40-0 at halftime. I don't
Was
know.
it that good? I thought it was worse than that.
Whatever it was. All right. And I'm just like, when I'm a fan of something, whether it's like my high school football team or Tennessee or the, like, I am invested, like punching holes in walls invested. And I'm freaking pissed. I'm not on the team, but like I drove to Calhoun to watch this bull crap. So I'm pissed. And a teacher that used to work here, and I love her now, but she comes up to me and she's like, we're going to make a tunnel for them when they come out of the locker room. And you need to stand up if you're a real fan. And I was like, what the hell? I was so mad. I was like, if they want me to stand up and cheer, then maybe they need to play defense. I was so
or
mad.
offense, just something.
So, yeah. Anyways, that's why Jason quit, is because I wanted somebody to watch football with. So proceed with your Chick-fil-A.
Before I quit, at Chick-fil-A, they got some really good lemonade. And I know Ben loves the lemonade.
Dude, all right.
How much is it a
pause real
gallon?
quick. Listen, yesterday I got Chick-fil-A, and I accidentally ordered 2 large diet lemonades, and I drank them both in a row.
So good.
And I was peeing all night. Anyways, go ahead. But it's funny you said that because that happened last night.
How much is it a gallon?
$12.
It's $12 a gallon for Chick-fil-A lemonade. So keep that in mind. So they've got the big tubs that dispense it, right? And it holds like 5 gallons. Okay. And I don't remember the process. Like, you make the lemonade in the back, and you have this big 5-gallon bucket. It's a sanitary one. It's not like one you just grab. Anyways, and it's covered and everything else. You have to pick up this 5-gallon bucket full of lemonade and reach it over, because the things are up pretty high, over your head, and pour it into the dispenser. And this dispenser was right behind the registers. So right in front of all the people, right? Customers. There's a lid on top of that thing. So 125, 135 pounds, and picking up this big bucket, and I feel like I'm handling it pretty well. And I go to pour it, and I pour, and it hits the lid and starts going everywhere. And once that's over your head,
It's going.
and it starts going, you can't just stop. So I dumped 5 gallons of lemonade everywhere.
That's why your boss was mean to you.
Everything's sticky.
Dude, and I tell you what, and there was, and we couldn't take tips or anything, but there was a customer watching. And he was like, he offered me like $10. He was like, that was worth $10. I was like, I can't take that, sir. It's my pleasure.
You gotta make sure
You got dinner and a show.
Was that your first job?
That was my first job. Shortly after that, it was Dairy Queen.
Yeah, no, we've talked about that. That was awesome.
Oh man, that was
Dude,
awesome.
my first, like, I did odd and end stuff. My dad would just, like, in the summer, like, I never got a job. And what I mean by that is, like, I never, until I was a grown person, like, I was 18, 19 years old before I, like, went and applied somewhere. My dad would just, like, go find places, but hey, I got a son, I need him to work. And so
So
like,
he'd tell you, hey,
dude,
boy, go
I,
work.
I, like, helped move furniture for, like, a furniture company.
Oh.
I worked in a nursery one time, just like doing just nothing. Like, it was like a
Not like a baby
not like
nursery.
no,
Like a trees.
like a plants.
Plants.
Oh, that's like my dream job right now.
Yeah. It sucked. No, don't worry about that. But my first job that I had for it, because I would do those for like a few days. They'd be like, he'd go like, hey, y'all need some help, and they'd be like, yeah, I got a guy on vacation, send him up here, and then I would just be there for a week, and then I'd be unemployed again.
Learning all sorts of trades.
So anyways, the first one I had for an extended, like a whole summer, was after my junior year, because my friend, and I was like, he's not going to care. So my friend Nick, we used to do all kinds of stupid stuff, but he had a 4-wheeler, and this 4-wheeler was just it was a piece of junk. I'll tell you about it in a second. But so we down in National Forest, there's like, it's a creek but it's the size of a river. Like, but creeks, like designations for bodies of water are by length, not by width, if that makes sense.
I'm sure everyone was wondering.
Yeah. So it was the size of the Hudson River, but it's just not very big because it connects to like watershed lakes or whatever. I don't know. I could take you there. You could look at it, but it was belly deep. And I'll tell you why I know it was belly deep, because so we unload his 4-wheeler out of my Ford Ranger, and he goes across it, but he floats the 4-wheeler, like the 4-wheeler floats across it. Okay. And he's like, you can make it across in your truck. And I was like, yeah, I can. So I get in my truck, I hit this river, creek, whatever, and a wave comes over my hood.
I don't think there's waves.
No, I hit it so hard. A wave of water came over my hood. Like I see, and that's something I've learned now as an adult is like, if you need to cross water, you gotta go slow.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, I don't want to get stuck.
So
like I was afraid I was going to get
real fast.
I was afraid I was going to get stuck and then like have to call my dad and be like, hey, I need you to come pull me out because I'm stuck in my truck.
y'all,
That was
watch
worst
this.
in my mind. That was worst case scenario. So worst case scenario. So I just gun it. Wave comes over, hydrolock the engine, crack the block.
Was this a Ranger? Your Ranger?
Yeah, my Black Ranger.
He's mentioned that.
And that Ranger, let me add, was only 3 years old. Like it was a pretty nice vehicle. Like for that time. Like it was a Ranger. Like how nice could it? But it was only 3 years old. And so when I did that, I ruined the engine and transmission.
Yeah, naturally.
And so my dad found some guy, because that's what he does. He found some guy that would go get an engine and transmission out of a wrecked one from a junkyard and replace it for like, back then, I think it was like $2,000 for like both, which
That's
is
not
including
bad at
labor,
all.
which was all. So anyways, but he was like, I'm going to pay for this, but you got to work this summer to pay me back. And so I worked the whole summer just to make enough money to pay him back. And I worked at like a automotive shop, ironically enough. And
Did you work and replace that engine and transmission in your truck, and then your dad still makes it?
They're not even the same people that did the work. This is just a completely different shop. But they were looking for somebody to do oil changes and brakes and stuff. So they teach me how, and I'm really grateful I did that, because like I had auto tech here, but like I never really like put it to use. So it was good to actually
learn that stuff
and get good at it. But I remember, dude, this is my first real job, and I'm 17 years old. And I'm working a full-time job this summer. Like I get there at 7 in the morning and leave at 5. And I remember, like, if y'all seen the movie October Sky, like I love
We've
that movie.
seen that movie a lot.
Yeah, because of high school. We watched it. But I love it. But you remember when he goes to work in the mine?
Yeah,
and like his friends go to see him, and he's covered in like black, like soot, and he's like eating his lunch. His friends are like doing fun stuff. They come. Like, I remember my friends would like come see me on my lunch break, and I'd be covered in grease, and I would just be like, "Well, got to get back at it." And I'd
go make this rocket.
Put my lunch pail up, and I'd go back,
man.
and I'd go change some brakes. And I was terrible at that job, dude. I would break stuff all the time, and then they'd get pissed at me, and I'd have to they'd have to replace it, and I wouldn't get paid because I broke a water pump or something. Like
They take it out of your paycheck?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to pay for it. It ain't gonna be them.
Yeah, and so, but like they would just trust me to do things. Like I replaced a radiator one time. I'd never done it in my life. They were like, "Well, you should disconnect all this and you just put a new one in."
You didn't even have YouTube back then.
No, I just figured it out, and it was a Mazda Miata, and I got to test drive that thing. And this shop ain't even open anymore, so I don't mind telling this. I got to test drive that thing, dude, and I drove it like all the way to Homer. This was in Cornelia. I drove it all the way to Homer on a test drive when I was
to Homer from Cornelia.
And then I went down the 4-lane and came back on the old road past Jason.
Were you driving like your auto stuff, like your uniform?
No, like I didn't have a uniform. I just wore old clothes, But like I drove that thing I was going for like 30 minutes, and I came back and they're like, "Where'd you go?" And I was like, hey, I had to pull over on the side of the road because that radiator's still not right. And I just made stuff up.
I had to tweak it.
But it was crazy, dude.
On joyride.
So I quit that job the day before school started back, and I never I guess the owner just didn't know how old I was. So I went to him the day before, like, this is kind of crappy because I guess I should, but I didn't know about communicating. So I go to him and I'm like, "Hey, I have school tomorrow." He's like, "School?" And I was like high school. Like I go back tomorrow. And he's like, "What? What am I gonna do?" And I was like, "Man,
find somebody else."
I don't know, but I got to go back to high school. So I never went back. But yeah,
dude, you were talking about wearing dirty clothes to work. So when I worked for this clothing company, it was screen printing and stuff. When it first started, now they've got their own place and it's like popular, and they're doing well, before they took off, we were just doing it like in a shed, like at the owner's parents' house. And so you just wear old clothes and you get screen print ink all over. I was going to Goodwill to get clothes just to wear to work. But one day, and it's at his parents' house, right? So his dad had some he was burning something. And we had all these aerosol cans because for adhesive, and then we had aerosol cans for screen cleaner and all this stuff. Anyways, we kept them in a separate trash can and disposed of them differently than regular trash for whatever reason. I guess you're supposed to do that. There was one of the guys working there. He was like, "Man, if we threw one of those in there, you think it'd blow up?" I was like, "Yeah, it would." He was like, "We should do it." I was like, "I don't think we should." So he does it anyways, and we're watching, and nothing happens. So then he takes that trash can and dumps 7 in there. And when I tell you, we're standing there, we're waiting, oh, nothing's going to happen. And all of a sudden an explosion comes out and it shoots fire everywhere. And it catches the grass on fire in the yard. So there's this blazing fire going. I'm like, we're going to call 911. This place is going to get shut down. So you add to it, then we got guys running over to the faucet to get the water going. It won't come out. There's no faucet. We're going to little rascals this thing and just
pass a
bucket of water to try to get it out. So my quick thinking is I'm just going to stomp it out. And I run over and just stomp that thing until it stopped. And then he says, I felt like I was in Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
You talking about that job though, that car job. Working there probably it could have changed the course of my life though, because I took auto tech here 4 straight years, every semester. I should be really a lot better at cars than I am. I can't do anything other than basic stuff. But I kind of thought I might want to do that because remember those guys would come in from ITT, not ITT Tech, whatever the car ones are.
AARP.
And,
That's not.
And then the boat ones, Marines, all those. So they'd come in and tell you how great it is. You could go be working NASCAR or something. So I was like, I kind of want to do this.
You work real good money offshore.
Yeah.
Work at Crystal on the side for extra cash.
Exactly. Yeah. That's an inside
Don't
joke.
you
on the
say
Mari
no.
show.
Yeah. Okay, you beep that up.
I can.
So you're about to beep something for me too. But so anyways, this old guy that works there, you'll know when. Just get ready. So this old guy that worked there, he comes up to me after I'd worked there for a while. He's like, "You think he'd worked there for 30 years? He's old, man." He's like, "You think you want to do this for a living?" And I was like, "I'm kind of thinking about it. I've done this in high school." And he goes, "I tell you what, I wish I'd never seen a car." Oh. and I remembered that, and I literally I changed my mind because of that old man. I was like, I can't be like him. He's miserable. But I mean, Chris, what was your first?
Yeah.
I want to know because I know you've talked on the pod about your first job, which was
being a barbecue
barbecue
waiter.
Yeah.
What was your first real job? Was it being a preacher or was it?
My first real full-time job, was as a pastor. Was first full-time job, but job I had in high school and in college, I was on the radio broadcasting games. I worked for the radio station in Commerce, and Jason helped me out with some of those games.
2 years I helped you. Some of those games, I was your co-host.
He was at every game.
WJJC. I could not think of WJJC. Yeah, that was
We had less listeners than this podcast, though.
For sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
But they told us the numbers. It was higher than we thought.
They said it was high. Was it high?
Tell them about the Beef O'Brady's.
So we would do these games, and every night we'd be like, "Hey, listen, our fans, we want to meet you at Beef because we were doing Jefferson football, which was really hard because we were trying to root for Jefferson, but they were actually really good. Yeah, they were really good. It was when they started being good.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Stopped.
It's unbelievable
that we didn't.
That you two because they're such a big football this is a big time football program, and you guys announced their football, which is
it was so
hilarious.
fun though. We had so much fun.
And now thinking back, they probably were making a lot of money off that because there was a ton of sponsors.
Oh,
and
ton.
we would
We'd
have to read them.
Yeah.
But I didn't pay you, did I?
The second year we got paid some. Yeah.
But I mean, we got paid $20.
Yeah, the second year we got $20.
By the time we drove
first year
to the
he
games,
got paid.
The first year he got paid.
I got paid.
He would buy me food. What else was I going to do?
No. Yeah. I would get paid $20 a game. We would go eat Beef O'Brady's. We would drive to the game, it was costing me like $50
Yeah,
to
but
do this job. Like I was losing $50 doing this job.
The second year you got us something more. You got more. Because the second year I got $20.
I got 40.
So, anyways, but tell
We
but
were-
you
we
guys
still
would
didn't
tell
break
that-
even.
You would
We
tell
were
your
still-
audience though. Tell them what you do.
We would tell
guys.
them, we'd be like, hey, meet us at Beef O'Brady's. We'll be there. We'll love to, sign autographs. See you there, man. Looking forward to it. And we would come back the next week and we'd be like, it was so good to see all of our fans at Beef O'Brady's.
Yeah, like we
Man.
had fans like
Like, it was just so good to sign some autographs and get to
the
meet
coolest
everybody.
thing to me was when they had a couple brothers that were a few years apart on the team, and their dad had a lot of money. And both these brothers went D1.
Yeah.
They didn't have like super successful college careers or anything.
But
I
they
think
did
one
go
of them
D1,
switched.
yeah.
They did go D1. The dad came up to us after one game and shook our hands, and he was like, "I really appreciate you guys." And I was like, "Didn't even know you."
We were
Do you
probably
know we
on
were
some like
existed?
D1 highlight tapes. Like they're sending these off, and we're probably in the background like describing what's
Dude,
going
I
on.
still remember.
Were you the booth real quick? You're saying that were y'all in like the same booth as like the coaches that
Yes.
were
Yes.
filming?
We're right there beside
100%.
them.
Oh, so yeah, you're definitely.
Dude, except when you went to North Oconee. North Oconee, you had your own separate room,
Dude, we
and
went to
they had
North
you a
Oconee.
spread of food. They had drinks.
Yeah. When you're listening to like a Major League Baseball game or something, they're like, yeah, in the booth tonight for dinner was, and they
Yeah,
tell you what they
yeah.
That's what they had
That's
at North Oconee
They
High
had
School.
Chicken Express.
We
They
were
had
like,
sandwiches.
what is this?
That's crazy.
It
we were like,
was.
we don't have to
Did you
pay
say
to go
Chicken
eat.
Express,
Yeah,
like the one that used to be in Oglethorpe County.
yeah.
The Oglethorpe,
They had one in Watkinsville.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
So North Oconee would get Chicken Express.
the Oglethorpe experience was not the same as North Oconee.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
No offense, like Oglethorpe.
It was
the,
it was a good time.
The whole thing about Beef O'Brady's is there was nobody.
No one
we
ever
would
came.
go there
We just said,
and nobody knew who we were.
yeah, like how would they know?
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
They would
Nobody even
come
told
and they
us
were
there.
looking because you know how like sometimes like 94.9 and what's the other sports?
Oh, they'd have, like, banners and stuff.
and they'll be at like a bar or
They're
something.
looking for the
and
people,
WJJC banner, and it's just me and Chris.
broadcasting live from
Yeah.
wherever. Yeah, they thought you guys were gonna be out front with a banner like, yeah, we're down here with all our fans at
Dude.
Beef O'Brady's.
I remember one time one of my college roommates came with us, and he was just there, and we just let him like say stuff here and there. And one time a kid like made a terrible decision, like fumbled the ball after doing something stupid or whatever, and he like slams the table and he's like stupid. And one of the Booster Club dads or something who was literally like cussing the kid 2 seconds ago comes over and he says, "I don't care who you're cheering for, son, but you don't do stuff like that in this booth."
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Because
so
Chris
right
is
there
just
in
like,
Jefferson,
"All right."
before they remodeled it, we were sitting in the booth with the coaches, but like the row in front of you is like 3 feet in front of you.
Yeah,
Like they
it's-
can hear everything
So
you said.
this is, and I gotta leave a lot of names out of this because there's people that know these people and they'll know this. Even if I say the schools, they'll probably know who they are. But me and Chris, I remember Chris and me, we went. He was a youth pastor before he was when he was in college, and this is like a couple years after we graduated.
Oh, yeah, I know
and
this story,
and we went to a game between two schools that are local, not our school that we graduated from, and one of them, a guy that we know, was coaching, and their sideline was on our side.
Oh gosh.
And this whole game, there's this kid, and he's I don't remember the exact number, so I'm just gonna say 15 just for giggles, for story's sake.
I seen this guy yesterday.
So
actually.
that's funny. So we're watching this number 15. He's never leaving the sidelines, but we're like, that number 15.
He looks athletic.
like he looks like he'd be good at football.
Yeah.
Like, why is he not?
This
getting
is a
time on the
JV
field?
football game.
So no, it was varsity.
Was it varsity?
It was varsity.
Oh, okay.
So it gets to be halftime, and Chris goes, "I'm going to call the coach that we knew for this
Yeah.
team."
We're just fans.
He's like,
we're just fans.
We're
at this
sitting
game.
in the bleachers. Chris says, "I'm going to call him and ask him why he ain't getting no playing time." At halftime, the field house is down on the right side of this field from our view at the right end zone. Chris calls him, and we see him step out of the locker room during halftime to answer his call, which quite frankly is unbelievable.
that he would.
So
he would think it.
he answers, and Chris goes, "Hey, why is 15 not getting any playing time? He looks like he'd be good." The first series out of halftime, that kid goes on the field. Terrible. I don't know where that kid is now, but he wasn't a football player.
No, he wouldn't.
Awful.
He was so unathletic.
But
he looked
the,
like it
the
though.
fact that he put him in the game at Chris's wish was the funniest
Yeah.
thing I have ever seen.
Oh man, I got one more job story. Talking about Dairy Queen. So at Dairy Queen, if you don't know this, if you tell them to flip the Blizzard upside down, they have to, or at least they used to. And if it doesn't stay in the cup, you get it for free. You get another Blizzard.
I always heard if they didn't do it without asking, you got one for free. If you like called them, I'm like, hey, you didn't flip it.
Well, maybe. So you got to flip it upside down to show that it's like thick ice cream. It's good. All right. If you use like M&Ms, when they spin around, like a lot of times they'll pop holes in the cup. Okay. So when that happens, you put it inside of another cup, like cup inside a cup.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So I'm working drive-through, and I'm not paying attention. I'm just handing out Blizzards, man. So I'm grabbing them, flipping them, grabbing them, flipping them. Next person comes up, M&M Blizzard right there beside me. I grab it. The cup had busted, so it was inside of another cup. I grab the outer cup, flip it upside down. That other cup just slides out and hits the pavement. And this girl, she was like, she didn't know what to do. She was like, do I get another one?
You're like, no.
I was like, yes, you do. But yeah.
No, you clean it up off the ground.
I was like, no, it flipped. You're good. It's in the cup. It's still in the cup.
So if you, all right, so you know like that at Dairy Queen if they don't flip it. Like at is it Dollar General or somewhere it's like if they don't ask you, or maybe it's Love's gas station. If they don't ask you if you want your receipt, you're supposed to get like something free or something, some money off or something.
I don't know. If you don't know the.
But I've always thought, because they never asked me.
So
like,
why not
do
just
you want
say?
your receipt? But I'm like, do I say it? You didn't ask me for one of my receipt? Because then I'm like, what if she's like, get out of here?
if
Or
they-
like, if she's like, wants to argue about
What
it.
if they bully you?
Like,
You know what you do if they
are
say,
you winning that fight?
if
Like,
they say, get out of here, Chris, you know what you do? You just leave.
dude, those people look at Love's gas station. I'm scared anyways.
Was your first job the place you were talking about too? Like your first full-time job?
Yeah, because it wasn't supposed to be full time.
Was there ever a job that you worked that you were like worked with people significantly older than you, and you just like were like, man, I'm not like, I did not know the world was like this, because I've had a lot of
Yes.
those jobs.
I don't think
and-
so.
Yes.
Dude.
I started working with my uncle during the summer in high school. I was like 16, 17 and doing low voltage work like at schools during the summer or like just different hospitals, like pulling wire and doing stuff like that. And like new construction, people who work like build stuff are a different people.
Yeah,
That's true.
Like I heard language, like I had heard bad language my whole life. That wasn't the thing. I just never had heard people, that's all they said.
yeah.
Like I'd never heard people string paragraphs of conversation together and never not use a cuss word. Like every word was a cuss
Yeah.
word. And I was amazed. And I'd never seen some people work so hard. Like I was blown away how hard people worked. And I was like, man, I can't do this.
Dude.
I did roofing for one day, and it was in
One day.
Elbert County, and it was 90-something degrees on that roof, and I had almost finished the whole thing. Like me and this one other guy, I almost redone the whole roof in a
One
day.
day.
Yeah, and at the end of that day, I got my money. I didn't come back. I was like, I'm
So,
never getting on
You're
the
like,
roof
I gotta go to
again. I was
school
like,
tomorrow.
Man, like
It was awful.
I had even that shop job I was talking about was like that, because it was a bunch of old men, like older, but like that wasn't that bad. But like when I got my first like full-time job after high school, and I've mentioned it a lot on
Ingalls?
this spot, yes.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna name any people that work there, but like, dude, it was like another world.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like, I mean, you know what? I'm not even gonna say everything they were doing, because I don't want like Ingalls to get like an investigation. But like, dude, it
Do
was.
they have like a
Well, I
Supermarket,
don't
like,
want them to
people
come down, because
that-
none of these people. Okay, I'll say 'cause none of
Food
these people-
inspector? Food
none of these
inspector
people.
check?
I'm not. No, it's nothing like that. I don't want them to like lose business because of this. So none of these people work there anymore. So I'll say that. So if you're from Ingalls, don't go looking into the meat department, because this probably doesn't happen anymore. But dude, I would walk in like the cooler, and they'd be in there just like drinking whiskey, like in the cooler.
It's hard times, man.
And then they would go like cut up like beef bones on the saw. And I would be like,
That's not safe.
I don't think that's safe.
And they'd be like, we've been doing this for 27 years. Now you're getting.
There was
I
one
think we're
dude one
okay.
time, dude, like these guys would steal so much stuff, man. And like this guy one time, like a whole beef tenderloin, it's like a $200 piece of meat, cut it up and stuffed it in his socks.
Socks? How'd you
Dude.
do that?
Oh, man.
The same guy, he was like, if you ever want a nice meal for you and your wife, you know, like you let me know. I'll hook you
I'll
up.
stick 'em
And
in
I
my
was like,
socks.
I was like, I'm good. The first day I worked there, he took me, he's like, come with me. And we walked to the chip aisle, and we all had box blades to cut stuff open, you know. And he took his box blade out, and he gets a pack of like those Ritz chips and like cuts them open and eats one in the aisle. And he's like, those aren't any good. Put it back on the shelf and just
No.
and then just got like a different flavor. cut them open. He's like, yeah, those are good. And I walked back and I had the whole bag.
Dude, you know what's
Like,
funny is
perfect.
he's
Took the
like,
job, huh?
It
No,
was crazy.
that
man.
was him saying, "Hey, you're party to this crime." So now you don't say nothing.
Nah.
Whatever you see, you stay quiet.
You remember that meat in my socks, boy?
No, me neither. Yeah. All right, back by popular demand. Is it manly?
So a couple weeks ago, this has actually been kind of brewing for a few weeks. It's been on the list, but just other stuff keep popping up. But a few weeks ago, Hudson and I went and played golf. Not golf.
By golf.
No,
you
no,
mean
I'm sorry.
disc
Gosh,
golf.
wow. Yeah, I played disc golf, not real golf.
The good game of golf is insulted that you said that.
Game of golf can get over it. So, anyways, we went and played disc golf, and it rained almost the whole time, and we're leaving. I was like, oh, there's a rainbow, and I was like, that's great, just to start with, like, cool. And then like we got going through town, and it was even bigger, and it's almost starting to turn to like a double one, So that's pretty. So I took a picture, and he was like, ugh. Like he like kind of shamed me. This is my 9-year-old kind of shamed me for taking a picture of a rainbow. And I was like, well, am I a good dad? Like, am I setting a good example for my kid that I'm taking pictures of rainbows? Like, because shouldn't I be like showing like
John Wayne
a
movies?
masculine example for my kid? Like, I don't want him to.
Let's watch The Searchers, boy.
So as I'm thinking about this, I'm sitting at a red light. I took the picture. I'm sitting at a red light, and then I look to my right, and there's a dude with a bigger beard than mine, just big in like a work truck, with his arm out the window,
Taking a picture.
taking a picture of the rainbow. And I was like, you know what? That guy took a picture of a rainbow, and he's more burly than me. So you know what? Kiss my butt. So
To your 9-year-old.
So I think this goes along with the last Is It Manly? Sunsets.
Sunsets, yeah.
I think appreciating just the beauty of the world is manly. Because it takes a mature man to appreciate pretty things. I don't know if I should call him pretty because that's not very manly.
I don't think so. I don't think it's manly.
I think it takes a lot of man. I think it's manly just to be able to sit on this podcast and admit that.
That's fine. I mean, you could still do it. That's the thing. Like, that's the thing with Is It Manly? Like, it doesn't, I don't know. It's not manly.
I think it is manly. Yeah. I mean, not to get like theological, but I think
I wanted you to.
The world has like messed up what the rainbow means, and it's the whole world's full of the glory of God, and He creates the rainbow, and it's a sign of His covenant that He won't flood the world again, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So Jason, if you don't love if you don't love rainbows, then you don't love Jesus.
I do love Jesus. All right, so I guess they're manly. All right.
And if you want to hear more,
you can listen to
Big Boy Church, Chris's
where
podcast.
we talk about. I do have to go.
All right.
So what is this now? A 2-person pod?
All right. Well, there goes Chris. He just stepped out, so me and Ben are going to wrap things up.
Yeah, just the two. This is the first time it's ever been a 2-man pod.
It's the better of the two, man. If you ask
it's
me.
easy to say that when it's just us, but
I'll say it in front of all of our listeners.
Yeah,
Here's a random little thing. So Ben and I, we have a tendency to accidentally wear the same shirt.
For sure.
And first day of school, and I passed Ben at a gas station. Like, he was getting gas, and I was on my way to school, and I see him. And I said, that looks a lot like the shirt I'm wearing. And then I see him in the building, and sure enough, we're wearing the same shirt. So
it's not like a shirt that's affiliated with like our school. I mean, it's not a good it's
like a polo. We're just wearing a random polo that we both own. And that's happened more than once. No one really called us out on it. No student. But it helps that we're not right beside each other.
Yeah. Every time I wear it, I'm like, should I text Jason and be like, are you wearing that?
Is that manly?
I
don't think it's manly, but it is. It's not manly wearing the same shirt either. So we're trying to avoid.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thought about that this morning. Like, I got up at 5:00 this morning. I was like, he's probably not awake.
I did not think about this when I put this shirt on. I was just like, this shirt fits me good, so I'm gonna wear it. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get back to a 4-man.
It's weird,
this has
man.
been because
second week.
I wasn't on.
Yeah.
Then Chris wasn't on because he was sick,
And now Ryan. So that's 3 straight weeks.
Yeah. So I really want to get back to a 4-man soon.
And I know the listeners do too. but hey, we're trying. Hey, life happens, guys.
We have some really good guests. I mean,
Lined up.
Yeah, it's not just schmucks. The guy, we got a couple guests that are, way more interesting than we are. And so if you've been entertained by
100%.
us, then I would definitely stick around because these guys you'll be excited about, and it'll be exciting for us to have a guest that we can, interview instead of us just rambling. We can actually ask things, but
Yeah, and don't worry, there'll still be some rambling, but
for sure,
we'll have some.
Chris will
some
always
guests.
ramble.
100%. All right, everybody, that's all we got today. Remember to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Don't forget our contest. 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts will get you a chance to be on the show. Don't forget about our merch on the website. We just put a new T-shirt on there, Small Town Famous. Today, we learned that Ryan is holding down the fort. Ben almost became a mechanic, and Chris likes baby shows. And remember,
I'm not Ryan, but it's better to be a has-been than a never was. Woo!
Ben swings a bat in a golf club left-handed. See you next week.
All right. What? All right. Alex, congratulations.
I remember one time. Never mind.
Oh, I'll redo it. It's
I remember a golf course. I saw a guy that could do that. I'm pretty sure.
all right.
Not soccer fans. I mean minivans.
Well,
That's what Mamas and Jason listen to. But like Mama Christian music,
I guess I get soccer
And you're
mom
like,
fan, but
that's-
I'm trying to figure out how you got to that. Like,
soccer moms and minivans. I'm sorry, I messed it up, but
why are you talking that way?
I don't know. Is that how you're supposed to do it?
Chris,
One of y'all are supposed to go next. Or I have to
you're talking in your microphone.
No, my wife's sick. My mother-in-law's got the kids.
All right. All right, we'll wrap it up with this.